Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel. Today is day 3 of MerMay. I really hope you guys are enjoying the month of May, and let's get started on day 3. So here I have my sketch for day 3. I did this in a Cooler Erase terracotta color pencil, and the top part is going to be filled with her hair, but it still feels a little empty, so I'm going to add like a little fish in her hair just to add some interest. And again, speeding up a lot of this video because just trying to make this quick. Starting with the skin tone, I'm using a little bit bigger brush than last time and getting a little bit better at my overall washes, but I still tend to have a problem with overworking it. I need to just lay the color and let it go and let it do its own thing, but maybe by the end of May I'll have it figured out. I don't know if you could tell from the sketch because it's kind of hard to see, I understand that, but this is a little bit of a closer up picture of the mer girl and her doll, giving her doll a big hug. And so, you know, just trying to push myself to work on like characters interacting, and I know I'm kind of counting the stuffed mermaid doll as a character. So, and you know, working with how to overlap the hands and overlap the doll and all of that. And then I added this, what is he? He's like a jellyfish character off to the side here because I didn't quite center my picture, and I was like, oh, it'd be fun to have a little friend that kind of she has around. But man, I do not like the colors I chose for this jellyfish. You'll see later that I attempted to make him a different color, and it just went horribly wrong. And then another issue, and he was quite a struggle. There you see me doing the wet on wet technique for the tail, and my hands go flying because I'm really trying to not overwork it. And it's like, okay, put it down, leave it alone. I gotta let it go. And I did a little bit of the wet on wet technique up here around her head for her hair, mostly just because I wanted to get, I didn't want any like weird lines, and sometimes this paper soaks up the watercolor, and sometimes it doesn't. So I was just trying to make sure I had a good even start around her face, but the whole thing ends up getting pretty splotchy, but luckily with watercolor you can go over it and it ends up looking pretty good at the end. And then here, trying to get around my little fish I put in her hair. Again, not crazy about my color choice for him either. I was trying not to get anything that would pull too much attention. Yeah, and then here doing an even bigger brush to go over things to make it a little smoother, which I think works really well. So this is where things start going wrong. I forgot to record myself painting over the jellyfish, and then I just smudged it. And then I smudged it again when I started recording. I'm very frustrated. So decided to pick up a pencil instead of the brush because I was a little frustrated with myself. silly mistakes. I start working on her face paint, which is what we're gonna call it. I was a little hesitant to mess with anything else because everything was wet that touched anything else, and so I didn't want to start a new spot that would bleed into anything else. So I decided to do another small amount on her hair, trying to give it a little bit of depth. Starting on the doll's shirt. It was the next thing that wasn't touching anything wet. And go in for the cheeks. And then here I'm trying to fix the coloring of the fish. Again, not my best choice there. Focusing on some bubbles instead. My paper was warping a little bit, so you see me trying to hold those just because they're closer to the end. The white gel pen, because I was waiting for things to dry a little bit. Try to fix this guy. Still not happy with him. So the doll's hair is my next move. I start with the green and try to do like a wet on wet with the aqua that I've mixed up, and try to blend that into a more of a greenish, tealish color for her hair. It's quite tricky. I got some tight little spots to get to. And dropped my brush. Luckily didn't make too big of a mess. Shirt and another fumble of the brush. I don't know what is going on with me today, but I just kept dropping. I think I even dropped a few of the pencils when I was working with them. I don't know what my deal was today. So the last thing I have to do is the tail, and of course I just did the shirt, so I was checking to make sure everything was dry enough for me to work so closely to each other. That wasn't the best planning, but that's how it ended up. Luckily, no bleeding happened. So trying to make her tail that teal aqua color, a little more blue than green for her tail versus her hair. And then I move into colored pencils. For as much as I was not a big fan of the fish in her hair, color-wise, I like that it did add something to look at, up above her, add some interest to her hair. And then I kind of did my normal outlining with similar colors and did a little bit of shading with the color pencil to give it a little bit of texture. Again, my imperfect type style of outlining is not quite right on the color. It's a little misaligned. It just helps my lines be a little more free, a little less stiff, and I really like how it turns out. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I like how it gives my art a more flowy, less stiff vibe. So here I pull out my color pencil and it's got no lead to it, so I try to sharpen it, the lead falls out. Try to sharpen it again, I get nowhere near a sharp tip. Try to work with it, I can feel it about to fall out again. I give up and use a different color. So I still desperately need to go get some new colored pencils. So here I began working on this jellyfish guy, trying to do what I can to make him look a little bit better. He's just so much darker than I want him to be. You know, a jellyfish, you're supposed to be able to like see through him, but really he just did not turn out. I tried to like lighten him up with colored pencil and yeah, now he just looks even more ridiculous. And the final touches, and here's the finished product. What do you guys think? I hope you guys are enjoying MerMay, and I hope you are enjoying these videos. Please keep checking in. I will hope to post a whole lot more, so remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys are having a great MerMay.